Alright guys, I'm back and this is my WWE Raw review for the 4th of the 2nd, 2014. This Raw this week wasn't a bad show. We had CM Punk's chants throughout the night, and I also did hear some of the security guards, whatever they were, and they confiscated CM Punk signs. Like, what the fuck is going on with WWE right now? That is ridiculous. Like, if the fans paid to go to Raw, they don't want to have their signs, you know, like confiscated, because they probably took hours to make, you know, some of those signs, and they don't want, you know, CM Punk. Probably some of those signs probably took hours to make, and to get them confiscated on Raw just because CM Punk's not in the company now, like, that is totally ridiculous. In my opinion, why would you do that? Like, confiscate a fan's sign just because it says CM Punk on it? Like, what the fuck is all that about? I know CM Punk's not your company, but the fans want CM Punk. And the funny thing is about CM Punk, funny thing about the CM Punk quitting WWE thing, is that not one of the announcers or anybody from like Triple H or Stephanie or anybody on screen on Raw or SmackDown yet has said that CM Punk lost the company. They've just not commemorated him or nothing like that, so that's kind of a bit odd. But anyway, Raw opens up with this week with Randy Orton coming out. He says that he's going to beat all the men in the Elimination Chamber and go to WrestleMania. He says he's going to beat David Batista at WrestleMania. Then the Authority come out. Stephanie says that before the Elimination Chamber, he'll face the 5 guys in the Elimination Chamber. He'll face them on Raw, SmackDown, leading up. He'll face the 5 guys in the chamber on Raw, SmackDown, leading up to the pay-per-view. He said then Triple H says it's going to be D. Bryan versus Orton tonight. Who is the true face? Who is the face of WWE? Then the first match tonight was a 6-man tag match. It was the Shield versus Kofi, Big E, and Rey. This was a really good match. I mean, it got you know, the crowd in. This is a real good match. A nice way to start Raw. Roman Reigns did get his eye busted open here. Roman Reigns' eye got busted open here. I don't know where about in the match he got busted open, but he did get busted open. Then Ambrose tags himself in. Reigns is a bit pissed off. Then Ambrose, it's a power driver DT move on Big E for the win. And the announcers were saying the announcers were talking about Dean Ambrose, talking about when is Dean Ambrose going to defend that title again? When is Dean Ambrose going to defend his US title? Like, when did he last defend that US title? Does anybody remember? Because I cannot remember cannot remember the last time he defended his US title. What was it? Hell in a Cell? Like, WWE needs to start maybe unifying them belts, the US and the Intercontinental. The US or the Intercontinental, or like put him in a feud with Christian or a Rey Mysterio or somebody like that to you know, to like do some, you know, you put Ambrose in a feud with somebody like, you know, like a Rey or a Christian for that belt, instead of him just carrying that belt, because he's not defending it. I like to see that US title get defended once in a while, but it rarely gets defended these days. And then we get a Bad News Barrett segment. He's talking about the Super Bowl. Then Jerry Lawler says he won't be the Bad News Barrett won't be here next week. So I guess they're going to have him wrestle next week. Bad News Barrett. Okay. Second match tonight was Christian versus Swagger. This was a really good match here. Swagger throws Christian into the stats, and then Christian rolls up. Christian rolls up Swagger for the win. I thought this was a really good match. I mean, these two guys really put on a good match. I enjoyed it. It was a pretty good match. After the match, Zeb's getting frustrated, so obviously they're still building up to Swagger turning face. Third match tonight was for the WWE Tag Team titles. It was in a steel cage match. It was the New Age Outlaws, the champions, defending against Brotherhood. A really good match here. This was a real good match here. One part of the match I really enjoyed was when Cody Rhodes hit a moonsault off the steel cage. I know Kurt Angle's done that in TNA, but Cody Rhodes did it on Raw. I'm glad that he did it on. I'm glad that Cody did this moonsault on Raw. If he did it on SmackDown, people don't really watch SmackDown that much, so obviously he wouldn't have got noticed with that if he did it on SmackDown. But if he did it, because he's doing it on Raw, I think Cody Rhodes is getting a big push to the main event scene. I hope this moonsault, I hope this leads to Cody Rhodes going to the main event scene this year in WWE. I would love him to become a WWE World Champion after WrestleMania, because Cody Rhodes is in my Phase 5 right now, and you know, I'm a big fan of Cody Rhodes. He is a great wrestler. I mean, you know, he is improving on the mic as well, so I would love to see Cody Rhodes be a World Champion. The fourth match tonight was Titus O'Neil versus Zack Ryder. Apparently on SmackDown, Titus O'Neil and Darren Young, I guess that they split up as the PT. They broke up the PTP on SmackDown. I didn't watch SmackDown this week, so that's why I don't really know. But like I said, it kind of looks like Titus O'Neil and Darren Young will be feuding, which is, I don't want to really see that feud. But anyway, Titus hits a sit-down spinebuster for the win. Miz was on commentary. He was complaining that he's on the match on Raw. Miz, just go away. Nobody likes you. Go to TNA. Be a world champion there. At least you'll get used. Just go away from WWE. Then we get a segment. We get a segment, a dance-off. It's Summer Rae versus Emma. Summer Rae versus Emma. I'm glad that Emma is getting some TV time. Summer Rae and Emma do this dance-off. Emma does that weird dance move. She wins with that weird dance move. I mean, it's a cheesy segment. Second match, the sixth match of the night, was Sheamus versus Axel. This was a decent match. Sheamus clobbers Axel's chest, and Axel hits a neck breaker. Then Sheamus hits a broke it for the win. And I think this is probably gonna. I think we're probably gonna have a Sheamus versus Ryback feud at WrestleMania. I think this is probably gonna be like a Sheamus versus Ryback feud at WrestleMania. Which I don't really want to see, but they could do so much more with Sheamus than just him feuding like Ryback. Then we get a promo from Dave Bautista. He doesn't really say that. He doesn't. Well, before he says anything, Del Rio comes out. He says that he has some unfinished business with Dave Bautista. Then and then Batista says, well, he has no problem. He says Batista says he has no problem with Del Rio, but then Del Rio still attacks him. So also they're probably building up between. They're probably going to have Del Rio versus Batista at Elimination Chamber. Then the seventh match of the night was a six-man tag match. It was Dolph and Consequences Creed versus the Wyatts. Dolph hits a DDT on one of the Wyatts, then Bray tags up in his sister Abigail on Dolph for the win. Decent match. After the match, Rollins says that the Wyatts do not hang with the Shield. Then the eighth match of the night was Naomi versus Oksana. This was a quick match. AJ was on commentary. Naomi hits a splash for the win. I guess that we're going to have a Naomi versus AJ feud, which I mean, okay, I guess, but Divas are boring anyway. Ninth match of the night was Orton versus Dee Bryan. Best match on the show. Best match of the entire night. This match and the Steel Cage match was probably my two favorite matches on Raw last night. I think that these two. The cage match and this match was a really good match. Dee Bryan throws Orton over the announce table. Then he works on Orton's leg. Then Orton hits a DDT on Dee Bryan. Then Corporate Kane comes out. He distracts Dee Bryan. Then he hits a suicide dive on Corporate Kane and Orton. Then Orton gets back in the ring. He gets hit with a high knee for the win. So Dee Bryan hits a high knee for the win. Then after the match, Kane comes in. Kane and Orton attack Dee Bryan. Kane hits a chokeslam on Kane for the win. Kane hits a chokeslam on Dee Bryan. Then he does his pyro thing, and that's how we ended the show. I thought Raw this week was a pretty decent show. One thing I do want to say about the Corporate Kane thing. Why? I said this a couple weeks. I said this week before I said this. Why has Kane got like a red lighting, and like why has Kane still got pyro? And like why has Kane still got pyro? He's supposed to be corporate. When you're supposed to be like have a corporate character, you're not supposed to have pyro and like red lighting. You're supposed to be corporate. You're not supposed to have, you're not supposed to do your pyro gimmick thing. You're supposed to stop all that when you're corporate. Not that's like, what the fuck are you doing? So WWE creative team, if you're watching, stop Kane doing the whole pyro thing and the red lighting when he's doing promos. It's not working. It's not working his gimmick. Just cut that off and just turn him total corporate. Cut the theme song. Cut his turn to Glenn Jacobs, and just, in my opinion, you need to just cut the whole Kane monster gimmick out and just go all corporate with Kane. Calling Glenn Jacobs, have a new theme song for him, and stop doing pyro and stop having red lighting for his promos. And that's my WWE review for the 4th of the 2nd, 2014. What do you have to think about the show? Leave your thoughts in the comments. So thanks for watching, guys. Brag out.